This weekend I'm taking a caravan trip with a difference. I'll be going back in time 30 years or more with this immaculate 1980 Vauxhall Cavalier, kindly loaned to us by the Vauxhall Heritage Centre, and this much loved Elddis Whirlwind GT. The destination has a nostalgic theme too. I'm heading to a festival of vintage culture, food and fashion in the heart of the beautiful Peak District.
I'm looking forward to finding out how an 80s car and caravan compare with their modern counterparts, as well as looking at sensible steps to take if you want to tow with an older car or classic. The Mark I Cavalier first went on sale in November 1975, with this model, the GLS 2000, arriving in September 1979. Our car was built the following year. Production of the Mark I Cavalier ceased in the autumn of 1981 after more than 248,000 cars had been built.
So I've towed the 100 miles or so up from Luton. We're now in the heart of the beautiful Peak District, and it really is a fantastic day to be towing a caravan. One of the first things I noticed when I got behind the wheel of the Cavalier was just how heavy the steering is. It really is something that strikes you compared with just about any modern car. You really do have to make some effort with your arms when you're manoeuvring at low speeds, although it's easy enough to drive once you're up to speed on the motorway or a country road like this one. The other thing that really strikes you very early on is how hard you have to push down on the brake pedal. It needs a lot more effort to slow the car and caravan down than when you're towing with a modern vehicle. About half an hour ago we were in heavy traffic and got stuck on a steep hill. I was a little bit worried, but the handbrake held first time, the car pulled away smoothly, really it coped no problem at all. All through the journey I've been keeping a careful eye on the gauges, particularly the temperature gauge and the oil pressure gauge, and I can tell you they both just sat right in the middle of the dial, haven't even flickered. The car, to be honest with you, hasn't missed a beat all the way here. Since we've been in the peaks, obviously the roads have gotten a lot hillier, and that does show up the shortcomings of only having a 4-speed gearbox, which of course would have been commonplace at the time. I'm often finding that I'm caught between gears and not sure whether to be in second or third. Second, the engine's revving really hard. Third gear, the engine's bogging down. What's really been fun about towing with the Cavalier is not so much the way it drives, but the memories that it sets off. It's really nostalgic to be in a car like this. It makes me think of family holidays in the early 80s with my dad and my little brother going, oh, we're nearly there yet, and all that sort of thing. One thing I'm not nostalgic for, though, to be honest with you, is having no air conditioning. I'm in severe danger of overheating. The driver and passengers aren't the only things that can overheat on a hot day. This can be an issue with older cars and classics, especially those with automatic gearboxes. It used to be common to fit additional cooling to automatic tow cars, and with good reason. It's something to bear in mind if you're looking to tow with a classic. Some other precautions make sense if you're towing with a modern car, but go double if you're using a classic. Make sure the oil and radiator levels are topped up, for example. It also makes sense to think about what you're towing. An 85% matching ratio between the car and the caravan make perfect sense if you're towing with a modern vehicle and a modern van. But if you're pulling a classic that doesn't have anti-lock brakes, doesn't have modern stability systems, and an older caravan which may not have a stabilizer and certainly won't have today's anti-snaking devices, then it really doesn't hurt to be well within that 85% figure. Consider adapting your driving style too. Leave a greater gap to the vehicle in front to allow yourself plenty of time to slow down and ease off on the accelerator if the outfit starts to feel nervous. After a long day on the road, I finally arrived at the Eroica Britannia Festival here in Bakewell. I've pitched up in the Elddis and I'm looking forward to a couple of beers in the beer tent and then hopefully a good night's sleep. And tomorrow I'll take a good look around the festival itself.